how long does it take for a healthy male to get his vitamin D levels up to 80 or 90 with 10K IU? Hard to say. It depends on a lot of things. Your genetics, your size, your fats, the size of your fat cells, or how many fat cells you have. So you may have, let's say you're lean, you've leaned out, and you've got really small fat cells now. You've still got fat cells. You may have also had, let's say when you were very fat, you may have grown additional fat cells. So you had many more fat cells. See, some people can actually produce more fat cells. Some people can't. And some people have very few fat cells. So somebody who's basically, let's say Asian, who's got Southeast Asian or whatever, has less fat cells, what happens is, though, that person can actually get vitamin D levels up much higher, quicker. Now, somebody who's basically got some fat cell, certain level of fat cells, we're talking about lean people here, certain like European, African, Central Asian type level of fat cell production, which is, those people generally will have more fat cells, so they can absorb, they will take more, the fat cells will absorb more of the vitamin D. So it will means that you may need a bit longer time. Now, if you're one of those people that had a lot of fat, you produced a lot of fat cells when you were getting fat, and then you went on keto, carnivore, you shrunk, those fat cells shrunk much smaller than some of the other people, but still they're there, all those fat cells. They can still take up vitamin D. So that person may take even longer. There are so many variables. That's just with lean people with a different fat cell amount and size. And then basically somebody that's much more fatter can actually you may give them 100,000 IUs and still it may take months to get their levels up because the fat cells are just absorbing most of it. There's so much variability. I always say to people, check. So I've got this kit. The kits have arrived. My kits, I've had them for some time. I just need to do a video. But this doesn't show very accuracy. It just tells you whether you're in a deficient, in an insufficient, or you're between 30 and 100. Wonderful. That tells me absolutely nothing. But the darker the color should indicate it's much higher towards the 100 rather than the 30. But still, they could have made it a bit more accurate than this. I found another more accurate one, but I'll try this and I'll see whether I get the other one in that regard. So I can't do the experiment that I promised because I thought that this was going to be more accurate. Not. It's only a band between a band, and that doesn't tell me anything. I can't test it against properly. So that's a bit of a anticlimax, unfortunately. So yes, to absolutely know would be to test. So what would I do? I would test now at baseline. Then I would start taking 10K IU every single day for 3 months. Then I would go back and test myself, see where I'm at. That would tell me at what rate I'm moving in that direction. Now, 60 is fine for most people healthy. If you want to get to the therapeutic level where all the genes in your body that vitamin D influences, which are over 1200, then you need to get the therapeutic levels. It's what I got, remember Lukey, he had to get to those levels to feel better, to fix up his hypothyroidism, his Hashimoto's. So if you've got any sort of problem in terms of autoimmunity, you really have to get to the therapeutic. You really have to get to the level of 80 nanograms per milliliter or 200 millimoles per liter for those who using the other system, the non-American system, and in Australia, the UK, a few other countries. And yeah, so basically if you get to that level, then you're at a therapeutic level, which is 2.5 times. So 80 times 2.5, so 200. And 60 times 2.5 is 150. I usually say to people, aim for 150 millimoles per litre or 60 nanograms per milliliter. So either one, fine in that regard. But if you want to get the therapeutic levels, you need to get to 80. That's when these genes can be turned off and turned on that are part of the autoimmune process as well. So very important to get to that therapeutic level and stay at that therapeutic level for a number of months. And that's what, our dear friend Luke Gear has been doing for some time. So we need to re-regulate the immune system at that level. Is it a good thing for everyone to get to that level and do it a certain period of time? Maybe. Is it necessary? Maybe not for everyone. Unless if you're feeling pretty good, probably not. If there are still things, you're on a carnivore diet, there's still things, maybe there's some autoimmunity, let's sort it out. Let's go up to those levels. Get the taurine level up as well. Do the fasting, the 3-day fasting to tear down your old immune system, rebuild a new immune system, and give it those high levels of vitamin D to basically start fixing and sorting things out and rebalancing things. So, yes, work with the body, not against the body, is the old